The talk about sprint car wicker bills just won't go away. We'll update you on that today, plus some sprint car ride news and all the racing to watch this weekend. Let's go. It's Thursday, March 7th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. At the national level of sprint car racing at the moment, we've got the World of Outlaws and High Limit experimenting with those 1-inch wicker bills on the sprint car wings. Talked about this a few times here lately on the Daily Show, but the idea is that the smaller wicker will create less dirty air for the trailing car and hopefully better racing. And the racing will supposedly get better because less dirty air means more air for the car behind and more grip, so more air on their wings behind as they try to chase. They also hope that the smaller wicker unhooks the cars just a little bit. The jury, though, continues to be out on whether it's working or not. We're probably not near a resolution, at least for a while. The Outlaws used the 1-inch wicker bill at Volusia this past Monday, and it remains in place for this weekend at Kennedale Speedway Park. In Ohio, though, two tracks have taken matters into their own hands, and not only are they not going the 1-inch wicker bill route, they're adding an additional inch for those that want it for this next season. For 2024, in both the 410 and 305 sprint car divisions, Attica and Fremont will allow teams that race weekly to run as much as a 3-inch wicker on the wings. There really wasn't an official explanation given as to why they've made this move, but Fremont's Rich Farmer commented on Facebook that 90% of races are won from the front row, so why not try it? And there definitely isn't consensus that this is the correct move either, and it's left some teams apparently scrambling for the new pieces, as 3-inch wickers aren't standard anywhere. Nobody uses them, nobody has used them, and nobody had them in stock. Elite Wings owner Stuart Williams posted on Facebook that Kistler Racing Products will have the new wickers in stock by Saturday, as we are now just a week away from the Attica opener on March 15th. As I told someone yesterday, I'm not a scientist, so I have no idea if this will work or not, just like with the 1-inch wickers on the national side. I do know it'll be interesting to see the comparison, as we will effectively get a side-by-side look over the next few weeks. You'll have High Limit, the Outlaws, the national teams on the 1-inch out on the road, and now we'll have Attica and Fremont with the 3-inch. So suddenly, if I guess maybe racing becomes really good at Attica and Fremont, maybe everybody else will follow this direction. I don't know. If the national tours, though, stick with 1-inch, it does put those Ohio local teams in a bind for when they race with the Outlaws and High Limit. You think about, you're going to set your car up with a 3-inch wicker bill, then you're going to have to go race, against the Outlaws, against High Limit with the 1-inch. Now, all of those notes that you've been gathering all year, they're now worthless. Having differing rules is something that the powers that be in sprint car racing, and really in a lot of different dirt racing categories, have been trying to get away from, because it makes it easier for everybody to race together if everybody has the same rules. 1,000+ daily shows deep, I never thought we'd spend so much time talking about 1 and 2 and 3-inch lengths of metal at the top of sprint car wings. In some sprint car ride news from yesterday, Hunter Schuerenberg continues to fill out his 2024 schedule. He started last season in the Vermeer 55 out full-time with the All-Stars, but after getting bounced in June, he made scattered starts the rest of the year with teams like Swindell Speed Lab. He ran with Zemco in Central Pennsylvania and Alex Bowman Racing. In January, Schuerenberg announced a 25+ race schedule with Hayward Motorsports, who had a partnership with Ayrton Geniton in 2023. The slate of races with Hayward includes starts with the World of Outlaws, High Limit, Maverick, and even some weekly racing. And then on Wednesday, the new Hybreeder Motorsports announced they have signed Schuerenberg to run their car this season, although an exact schedule was not released. Ryan and Ashley Hybreeder had been sponsors of Sam Haferteep Jr. and the Hills Racing 15H car, but they're now getting into full-blown team ownership this season, and their operation will be based out of Missouri. Schuerenberg won twice a year ago with the All-Stars and IRA and was a feature starter during the Knoxville Nationals. If you might remember, the Swindell Speed Lab 39 lost an engine, and they were not able to get a very good finish in that race. Before we move on to the weekend, if you haven't listened yet, World Racing Group CEO Brian Carter was on the Business of Motorsports podcast with Kelley Earnhardt Miller this week. You can find the episode in the Dale Jr. Download podcast feed from Dirty Mo Media. Lots of good information in there about Carter's past and the current state of dirt racing, things at World Racing Group. He talks about TV deals, the charter situation with High Limit, his own driving career, and also supporting local and regional racers. It's definitely worth your time if you get a moment today to listen. Looking ahead to the dirt racing weekend, the World of Outlaws sprint cars head to Texas for 2 nights at Kennedale Speedway Park. All signs are pointing to a very strong field of cars at the quarter-mile track near Fort Worth, Texas. This will be the first ever trip for the Outlaws to Kennedale, and it kicks off a several-week run through the Midwest that will include more races in Texas, plus stops in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. Through these first 5 Outlaw races, David Gravel leads the championship right now over Donnie Schatz, Gio Scelzi, Logan Schuerenberg, and Carson Macedo. The series has had 5 different winners to start the year, and we're coming off that 500th career sprint car win for Donnie Schatz that happened just this past Monday at Volusia. I think this could be a good chance for Macedo to get his first win of the year. He's one of the best on quarter-mile tracks out with the Outlaws, and he's actually got the most Outlaw wins at these quarter-mile bull rings with the series over the last several seasons. If you can't get to Kennedale this weekend, Dirt Vision has live coverage. Some racing you won't get to see this weekend includes the USCS at Hattiesburg and Magnolia. The weekend is canceled because of weather. The next scheduled USCS races are coming up March 15th and 16th at the Tennessee National Raceway. Also, the Tuckasee Toilet Bowl Classic at Clarksville has been postponed to March 29th and 30th. Racing and those $10,000 to win purses each day will remain the same for those new dates. And out in California, Antioch Speedway has canceled their season opener because of continued rain and wet conditions. Those California racetracks took an absolute beating this spring, so it might be a little while before some of them are able to open up. Down in Louisiana, the Comp Cam's Super Dirt Series begins their dirt late model season at Boot Hill Speedway. They'll run Friday for $5,000 to win and Saturday for $10,000 to win. Billy Moyer Jr. is the defending series champion. When we talked about streaming earlier this week, I alluded to the Comp Cam series being off of Flow Racing and that they had a new streaming provider lined up. Yesterday, it was revealed publicly that Race On, formerly known as Race On Texas, will carry the Comp Cam series in 2024. This was another victim of Flow consolidating their offerings, but it's a nice pickup for Race On as they continue to build on their rebrand of the service. Some big names are expected to race this weekend with the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series that includes Bobby Pierce, Cade Dillard, Ashton Winger, and many more. In some weekly sprint car action, Lincoln Speedway is racing again on Saturday. Danny Dietrich actually leads the track points through the first 2 events. Port Royal will also open their 2024 season on Saturday night. Devin Borden was the 2023 track champion there. We'll see if the weather plays nice there in central Pennsylvania. All right, that's it for the Daily Show this week. Episode 4 of the Sprint Car Build Series with Zach Hampton is live on the YouTube channel today. Check that out when you have some time. Zach works through squaring the rear end and installs the bird cages, the Jacob's ladder, the torsion arms, and the radius rods. I know those are all words and terms that you hear a lot when you're watching sprint car racing, things that get worked on in the work area. If you want to know what they look like, where they are on a sprint car, how it all works together, check this episode out. This will be very educational. You can also catch up on the first 3 episodes anytime. Also, keep an eye on DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight through the weekend to see your streaming options. Hope you guys have a great Thursday out there. We'll see you right back here on Sunday.